Welcome to the Den, the Dark Entertainment Network. I'm the Gothic Rose, and this is the dark tale of the day. Hello, dear fiends of the Den. I am the Gothic Rose, and as you know, here at the Dark Entertainment Network, this is a channel where the news meets conspiracy theories. It makes babies in my brain, and it comes out my mouth. If you like this type of content, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Hello again, dear fiends of the den. We are back with more haunted history of Hollywood, and I have spoken about the formula that Hollywood has created to gain and maintain fame and icon status. And today we will be talking about the star system. The 1920s was a transformative decade in Hollywood, and it shaped the film industry in so many ways that still resonate today, whether it's in fashion, whether it's in creating systems to keep studios running, to keep stars being born, to keep the power of their status. So we had so many things happen, like the rise of the studio system, the birth of the star system, the transition from silent films to talkies, the power of visual storytelling, morality and censorship, and the expansion of film genres. But what I want to talk about today is the birth of the star system of Hollywood. Reason being, we're seeing careers be destroyed over things that could have been preventable. Like right now, we're watching Blake Lively publicly lose support from friends while feuding with Taylor Swift, all because it seems Ryan Reynolds wanted her to file this harassment suit because, according to a blind item, everyone hated them for some reason. So they filed the lawsuit thinking it would turn everyone to their side, and worse happened. They didn't follow the star system. So, what is the star system and why was it developed in the 1920s? It's really an interesting piece of Hollywood history. Now, as we know, we are all human, and everyone has said never meet your idols and your icons, but there used to be a formula that everyone would follow, especially in public when not working. So, the star system in Hollywood was a method used from the 1920s to the 1960s to create, promote, and of course, control movie stars. So, studios selected promising young actors, crafted their public personas, and often changed their names. Cary Grant was actually born Archibald Leach. So, what happened with the star system is it featured image over talent. So, studios emphasized an actor's public image rather than their acting ability, and they provided lessons in acting, voice, and dance, but focused on maintaining the glamorous persona, which I have no problem with as long as they maintain that. Then they had the morality clauses. Actors had strict contracts requiring them to behave in a way that upheld their studio and crafted image. So women were expected to always wear makeup and stylish clothes, while men had to present themselves as gentlemen. And what we've seen lately, especially with the internet being everywhere and being so quick to upload videos and get information out there, is so many of these stars don't hold up that image in public. Now, I can understand being out and not wanting people running up to you and not wanting to take pictures because you're not, quote, working. I do understand that, but still, maybe just a little more, grace to some people because you do have so much. Now, of course, with the star system were publicity stunts, so studios arranged fake relationships and staged romantic moments to generate publicity. So gossip columnists were often tipped off to ensure stars remained in the public eye. And this, I believe, is why a lot of Hollywood dates Hollywood. Hollywood marries Hollywood, and Hollywood now creates Nepo babies to keep it all in one, to keep their secrets where they're at. And that's why the It Ends With Us lawsuit, as well as the Diddy trial, is turning Hollywood on its ear a little bit. And then there was, of course, the control. Another thing that these stars dealt with their 7-year contracts were control over their careers. And this also happened with Buster Keaton in 1928. He said it was the worst mistake of his career to sign on with MGM because they took all of his creativity from him and controlled everything. So the studios within these 7-year contracts dictated which films their stars appeared in, and they could also loan these stars out to other studios. Now, refusing a role could result in suspension without pay, which actually extended the 7-year contract past 7 calendar years. It could have been 8, it could have been 9 years, and often these stars went without pay. But were also expected to maintain their star status and glamorous image, not making a dime. And this practice went on from the 1920s until 1943, when Olivia de Havilland sued Warner Brothers and challenged the studio's practice of extending these contracts beyond the 7-year limit by adding these suspension periods. So the law resulted in the de Havilland decision in 1944, and this ruled that studios could not unilaterally extend contracts beyond 7 years. And this was a landmark case that weakened the studio system and thus the star system of the actors, who had more control now over their own careers, which was the whole reason for starting Hollywood, was to get away from the control of the motion patents picture company created by Thomas Edison in 1908. Now, also, they had controlled the studios over fan culture in the star system. So the rise of film magazines allowed the audiences to learn about the actors beyond their role, and this fueled their demand for more movie stars. So they were just pumping out movie stars, and I think that's why we have so many right now, and so many fall through the cracks with having like lousy PR and lousy teams, because there's too many of them to really keep it all reined in and under control. And they also have the option to make millions upon billions by making these deals, but a lot of them don't have the right people around them. So while the studio system helped create the star system, creating these Hollywood legends, it also restricted the actors' personal and professional freedoms. So this is why actors like Charlie Chaplin and Mary Pickford broke away from their own studio, United Artists, to now again gain control over their careers. And we're going to talk more about all of this, the studio system, and how this all comes together on the Haunted History coming up. Hollywood history is American history. It is the most American made thing. These studios moving out to the West Coast, creating illusions, controlling people's lives, controlling their money, all of it. It's really interesting. And of course, the fact that Hollywood was literally built on gangsters and prohibition, and then creating these illusions of these characters that the actors played. We have to get into everyone that has changed their name. Oh, history. It's so incredibly interesting. And if you think so too, let me know in the comments. And if you have any tips to share, please email me at welcometothedenpodcast.com. If you'd like to be a guest, let me know. You just must be 21 and over. And my dear fiends of the den, if you enjoy this content, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And thank you always for joining me here on the Dark Entertainment Network.